So if you want to build your own custom GPT, you go into the My GPTs section, you create a GPT, and then it helps you through the process from start to finish, and it goes pretty quickly. So you can really create a GPT on just about anything. So let's just say, what's something that I might want some help with? Let's say treatment plan generator for counseling. Helps me brainstorm potential treatment plans for use in counseling and psychotherapy. What does the GPT do? How does it behave? What should it avoid doing? This is where you give it the guardrails, you give it the boundaries. This is where you tell it what its persona is, what resources you want it to pull from. One thing I really like about the custom GPT is you can give it source material either by uploading files, or you can give it websites that you might want it to use. If you want it to allow web search, it can go out, but if you don't want it to do web search, it'll only act on the source material, the knowledge that you've given it here. Then you can do some conversation starters. This is where you might put those prompts that you don't want to type every time into here. So whatever that might be, you could enter those conversation starters here. And then after you're all done, you would hit create. So let's just do this in real time and see what happens. This GPT helps me brainstorm treatment plan ideas. Specifically, it helps identify goals, objectives, and potential interventions. All need to be peer reviewed and credible. Citations need to be included to review for additional resources. So let's say I want to practice some of my prompt engineering skills. I might also give it a persona. I might say, you are a world-class expert in counseling, psychotherapy, and mental health and wellness. You are skilled at helping other practitioners design treatment plans in a way that is ethical, effective, evidence-based, creative, and action-oriented. Again, you can personalize this however you want. I don't want you to give me all the answers, but help me think through and improve on my treatment plans. You help me brainstorm treatment plans. You can say this however many times you want to. Objectives all need to be peer reviewed. Be kind and supportive. Be a hard worker. Again, you can give this any prompt you want. My career depends on it, and the health and well-being of those I serve is imperative. Okay, so we got some instructions there. So some conversation starters might be, ask me, describe the client scenario and the help that you'd like. Create a treatment plan in the spirit of Carl Rogers. create a treatment plan that aligns with modern psychodynamic theory. And again, if I wanted to, I could upload files. It's really unclear to me, though, what they do with the files that I upload here, so I would be hesitant to upload any copyrighted material, but anything public-facing, open source, etc., I think would be fine. And I'm going to leave web search on because I want it to be able to go out and search. So then I just click create, and I can make it available only for me or anyone with the link or a GPT store. Why not? We'll put it there for everybody. Okay, your GPT can't appear in the Explore GPTs page because it violates the usage policies. Oh, may provide tailored medical health advice. Okay. Okay, so this is a new change. This is awesome. This is why these trainings that you give change all the time. It shows that they are putting more restrictions and boundaries in place, which at times is really good, and at other times it stops me from doing what I might want to do. So again, there's no nefarious things here, but it's saying that it could be used in a way. So I will publish it only for me or anyone with the link. Let's see if it'll let me do it for anyone with the link. Ha, there it is. So this would allow you to share it with select people. So this is the first prompt, describe the client scenario. I could enter in, client is 41, cisgender, hetero, male, lives in West Virginia, struggles with existential dread. So it's asking me additional questions. Now, this is again where you get into, how much am I willing to enter into the system? And I would say very little, unless it's covered by an enterprise security license. So once you get to the point where you're entering in a lot of client information or really any client information, I would pump the brakes. But speaking in very general senses, I might just say, help me create a plan for someone in this general situation. So am I going to stop here? Absolutely not. But I think one of the benefits for me is AI as a thought partner, as a brainstormer. Sometimes I just forget the word I'm supposed to remember from graduate school or some other training I went to. So it's really helpful just to get my mind going again. There's also some ethical considerations, some books, some therapeutic tools. I think one of the concerns is, would this make me miss resources that I would have found otherwise? And I think that's definitely a concern, but I think that's also a concern in any general search right now. I mean, anybody that's used Google search in the past 5 to 10 years notices that the entire first page is just ads anyway. So I'm never really sure if I'm getting everything I should be anyway. So especially if you don't have access to a university library system, this can be a good place to just start. So I want to maybe go back to a new chat. I'll try one of these other ones just for fun. Create me a treatment plan in the spirit of Carl Rogers. And some of these are more clinically oriented. Some of these are just funny to do. So, it gives you a little bit about Carl Rogers, gives you a fake presenting problem, some of the goals, some of the objectives, some citations where these come from. That's really nice. And again, remember, I gave it directions to give me those citations. So I think that's really cool. Gives me some assessment material. It's really nice. I must say, what other assessment measures could I use to measure outcomes? Something like that. So it gives me some instruments I might want to look up. Gives me the citation. Again, I have to go and I have to make sure these are real. And when we're talking about hallucinations, I mean, if you give it open search capability, I think it's more susceptible to hallucinations. If you keep it closed and focused just on a knowledge base that you created, you generated, then I think that's fine too. And I think that will have less risk of, like, let's just say that you had no problem, like you entered in all of your de-identified treatment plans for the past 25 years and you said create a treatment plan that I would create, like it would operate from what you have given it, not go out and search the web. I'm not saying to do that, but I'm saying that's an example of what you might do. Let's do one last new chat here. Create a treatment plan that aligns with modern psychodynamic theory. So you could do this with any therapeutic approach. You could do this with any presenting problem. And again, the goal here is not to make it do it for you. The goal is to give you some ideas, to get you thinking, and hopefully promote your own curiosity and to keep moving yourself forward for the sake of those that you serve. And again, for me, this isn't replacing anything. This isn't taking away from my clinical skills. This is really just helping me to keep thinking, planning, being curious, being creative, while still keeping the client at the forefront, keeping my clinical skill development at the forefront. Let's just say I didn't like how old some of these sources were. Give me something with more modern conceptualizations within the last 10. Let's push it within the last 5 years. I was going to say 10, but let's say the last 5 years. Okay, so you can see it's pulling from Wikipedia. So that's good. It shows you the source. I'm not going to knock it for using Wikipedia when many other people do too, but I'm not going to rely on Wikipedia. Use sources that are peer reviewed or credible, not Wikipedia. Let's see what happens. Okay, so you see you hit some limitations sometimes. It just won't do everything that you want it to do. So it's still pulling from Wikipedia in that way. So that's a shame. But you're getting the idea here. Again, using Wikipedia isn't inherently nefarious or wrong. You want to go and you want to double check the sources as well. So again, this is just helping me double check the sources, give me some ideas.